Alright, Lanta, so we are today back on the free-to-play auto account to tackle, this time around, the Captain and Squad Zero Senkaimon quest. Fortunately for me, thus far, I haven't had too much struggle on these Senkaimon stages, as I have been able to thus far beat every single challenge, every single mission, and the only thing to attempt now is the Squad Zero and Captain Senkaimon stage. So going into stage 1, mission set 1, we want to bring 3 accessories, clear in under 2 minutes, and also clear with 50% or more stamina. Now, in all honesty, I shouldn't struggle all too much. I have access to a pretty good set of captains. It kind of helps post 9th anniversary. We did get quite a few amount of captains. You know, part 2 anniversary featured 3. Tendro and also Owetsu are featured here too because they are Squad Zero characters. If you missed out on them because they released after the anniversary, there's a chance you could get them in this upcoming end of month banner. And then the 2 biggest banners post anniversary, you know, do consist of Byakuya and also Senjumaru. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically 8 really good characters that just came out within like the last year. But even then, I can go back and use older characters like Yachiru, of course. Maybe even use Mayuri. We can even use Toshu, and I'm probably going to use those older characters around now for those earlier, easier stages. So again, personally, the way I build my characters, at least on this account, is just sort by spiritual pressure, so I can get the most amount of spiritual pressure from these links, and I'm always going to pick a recharge and also a secondary damage effect. When it comes to the build, we're keeping it simple, right? Lieutenant's badge, fortification pill, and also T-set. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use Safui Mayuri. Not the greatest character, unfortunately. Only thing he really had going for him was how easy he could nuke guild quests, but when we have 2 minutes to clear, we should be relatively fine, assuming I can actually hit the enemy. Now, we've lost our full stamina. I kind of forgot where the enemies were placed. And not every stage of Senkaimon does have towers. That might change in the future, though, as we do get more stages. They might start to add a bit more gimmicks. But unfortunately, with Mayuri, I've already lost a bit of full stamina. But again, we have 2 minutes, so it's perfectly fine. And while playing with this character, it's also now just kind of hit me that we have not had that many good Mayuri characters, unfortunately. Hopefully that changes sometime soon, with the eventual Sun Suit Mayuri that we've been waiting for. And also Core 3 Mayuri against his fight with Penina. So while it doesn't seem like Mayuri has no good characters as of late, there is 2 pretty good chances of that happening sometime soon. I do the SA3. I do like its SA3 though, I will be honest. And again, traps like this are actually quite useful in Senkaimon, as it does remove any of the, you know, effects on the floor. In this case, the freeze pause. So let's go and use the SA1. Oh, we need to stay above 50%, right? Luckily for us, we do have that timer, or the icon at the top letting us know that we have stayed above 50% stamina. A nice addition, to be honest. And again, as you saw there, as we used our soul bomb, the enemy got taken down super quick, because that's realistically the only good thing about this Mayuri is this soul bomb damage. And for our first rule, we are going to go with melee attack damage. That way we can get double the damage if we are using a melee character in our next stage. And what character are we going to use here? Let's go ahead and use, again, a somewhat older character here. I mean, I guess, is he ranged? He's melee. I guess since we're on the Mayuri hype train right now, let's go ahead and use this Mayuri. We won't have killer here, but we should be relatively fine. We're already doing pretty good here in terms of damage output. Oh, need to make sure we don't get hit by that. But this character, in my opinion, since we're talking about the character, it's such an unfortunate release. And it's not even for the character itself. It's just, I guess while it made sense at the time, they did pair this character with Kisuke, and that was the last Kisuke we have received in like over 2 years. And we also did get a Akon, which was also pretty cool because it was his first time playable. But I really feel like they should have held a Bankai Mayuri to release alongside a Let's Do Ori, because we have never gotten that since the start of the game. And this was an end of month banner too, so I feel like this banner, this character release would have been a lot more exciting had he been paired with Let's Do Ori. But I guess, to be fair, we just got an Uryu like a month prior, but, you know, it is what it is. I will say, though, animation-wise, this character's pretty cool. For, like, a base Bankai Mayuri, which, to be fair, he's not even using the Bankai. It's only in the Soul Bomb. It's actually pretty cool. And we do have Paralysis, right? Paralysis and also Poison. So we can use our Soul Bomb, do some pretty good damage, push her up into the corner, hit the SA3, and we take down Rukia, not too bad. In that case, clearing in 1 minute, only using 2 accessories, we had around 23 seconds to spare, so not too bad. For our next rule, we're going special damage ×2, and in this case, we only want to bring 1 accessory. We are going up against no affiliation enemies. Can I sort by no affiliation killer? Not like it matters, but the added damage does help when you are against the clock. So in this case, these are our best cards that we can bring. I want to bring a Nath character here, but I don't know how good they're going to be, in all honesty. I mean, we can try it, though. And I'm going to go over Hollow Bait. That way, our strong attacks and also Sobum can still damage. It's probably the best way to build a Nath character if you are only using one accessory. And I guess in this case, we're going to go with kind of a hybrid build. That way, so she can still deal strong attack damage, Sobum damage, and also normal attack damage. Will this even be good? Let's find out. Not too bad, to be fair. The barriers is keeping us protected. Just need to make sure we don't get hit by these traps. Strong attack damage ain't looking too bad. It will add up over time at least. I think the Sobum damage that we're going to get is going to be the main thing here. But 15 seconds into the first stage, not too bad. Really good that we have the boost and Barry here. The speed character is slowing us down a tad bit, but that's fine. With the Senkaimon link and the built-in recharge, we do have that extra bit of recharge than a normal Nath character. So we'll go ahead and use it now. Not too bad. 20 seconds to spare. There we go. We got actual use of a no-attack damage character here, being able to beat in under a minute. Because we should kill it, right? So let's sub one. Not too much damage, but the paralysis should help us out with the constant poison and also normal attack damage from Soifon. So there we go, not too bad. Did a pretty good job using somewhat older characters. Then again, I mean, it feels weird calling those characters old because they only came out like 2, 3, or 4 years ago. I mean, they came out like 2022, 2021. So we're not using ancient characters, but you know, compared to newer characters, their damage output obviously is lacking. So it's good to get them used and sealed right now before the challenges get a bit more difficult. And at this point in time, all we have to do is use 6 more characters. So we can probably start using our better characters here. So let's remove all our restrictions. We'll save Byakuya for later on. What is the killers this time around? Soriba. I think I want to save Owetsu for the later stages because he is one of the better characters. Likewise of Yachiru. We will go ahead and use Toshiro, however. In my case, because I did start my account around the time this character came out, I do actually have him max strength, and I got super lucky on his individual banners. I believe I ended up getting him like 3 out of 5 in like 5 steps. It was absolutely crazy. And you know, for some reason, if I do need him later on, we will go back and clear this stage with another character. We do have Killer, to be fair. Maybe I should have saved this character for like the later stage. But again, we have some really good characters that even though they don't have Killer, they're going to do a lot of damage regardless. So this stage seems relatively easy. I was going to use my Soul Bomb here. And I probably could, to be fair, because that'll build up the gauge. Because we don't have the gauge active right now. So we only have Frenzy +1. Let's use the SA2 going into this stage. That way, when we use our Sobon, and then the SA1, we do actually one-shot a lot of overkill damage here, but the gauge was activated. So for some reason, the enemy had more HP. If I was using this character, especially level 1 out of 5, we would still likely do a lot of damage here. And our first rule for mission set 2 is damage from enemies ×2, because we do not want the enemy stamina ×2 until the 3rd stage, right? This time around, it's actually buffing the enemies. We have to now limit one of our links. Let's go ahead and remove that. And can we continue using a technique character? There's no way we can use any of these 2 characters, right? I mean, maybe we can use Jushiro. I think I'm lacking on Soripot or Golden Affiliation Scrolls, so I can't really afford to work on characters right now during this video. So now we're going to start eating into some of our better characters, more relevant ones. Where in this case, we are going to use Tenjiro. But again, just to save me from changing my accessories and links, let's just see if we can actually beat it using this build, like a hybrid build. It's not the greatest, to be fair. So let's go ahead and redo that right now. This time, actually using a normal attack damage build. We lost some full stam there, but thankfully, our SA3 and 2 also heal us back up to full stamina. The power characters are going to be a tad bit annoying here. Just got to make sure we stand away, keep our way from the weakening and also poison and pause. Unfortunately, again, I got hit, but we can get back up to full stamina. It's fine. We have 90 seconds overall, right? 90 seconds. So we just got to make sure by the time we actually clear the quest, we have our SA2 and 3 ready. It's a bit slow here, unfortunately. But we are back up to almost full stamina. Let me use the boost. Someone does apply paralysis. Now we're doing more damage. Hopefully the final boss is not power. Few more enemies to go. Luckily didn't get poisoned there. Final boss is a hot character. We should be fine, hopefully. Let's find out. Yeah, we're doing some pretty good damage. We already got the paralysis proc too, so let's push him back. Then keep our distance. Hopefully that doesn't... Never mind, he actually doesn't use his soul bomb. Like, keep forgetting. Characters with the insta-kill attack does not use soul bombs. when they get into her stamina. So, again, stage 2 for Captain's actually made easier because he would never use a Soul Bomb. Compared to, I think, the Quincy stage or Soiba, there's a 1000-year Blood or Yoruichi. I think it is the Quincy stages, where her Soul Bomb actually has like really good range to it and also paralyzes you. So if you do get hit by that Soul Bomb, it's pretty much game over. Compared to this one, it's actually quite trivial because the enemy will basically never Soul Bomb. In this case, though, for our next rule, we have to get a bit more serious because now the enemies have double the stamina. So enemies are Soul Reaper killers. Do I have a Soul Reaper killer? A recent one. Maybe I should have saved Toshiro. We have Yachiru. Let's use Yachiru. Why not? She's definitely good enough. Whether she's 1 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 for me, she's basically max resended. But this time around, I can only use one soul trait. So we're going to use a good one if we sort by speed characters. And we'll go with Esno. Why not? He's a double soul trait, so he's giving us both recharge and also strong attack damage. But Yachiru in particular also does have more recharge compared to a normal character. Only when at full stamina, however. We'll go here, SA3. Really good strong attack 3 again, removing the traps, making this stage a lot more easier for us. 15 seconds in, SA1. Let's try and grip them all up. Couldn't quite do that, but SA1 does deal a good amount of damage there. We're just going to make sure we're wary of those mobs. And to be fair with Yachiru, right? If you do get into this stage with like 5 seconds to spare, you could actually reset the app until the instant kill applies. So even though we only have like 20 seconds left, I think we are fine against the final boss. But if you are really, really short on time, as long as you get into that final stage and you have 1 second to spare, you can Soul Bomb, and in that case, actually get the instant kill to apply. We actually got super lucky there, though, applying it on the first hit, but that's something you actually could do. And again, we're doing stuff right now in these towers that we hadn't done in Senkaimon in years. Because I remember doing stuff like that back when Shunsui came out during the Tower of Ordeals, where beating a certain stage in under 3 minutes was difficult. And one of the ways that a lot of us managed to beat those harder stages was by using characters with instant kill. So again, this is kind of why I do like this Senkaimon update, because it is bringing it back to its roots, allowing us to do stuff cheesy ways in a way to beat a Senkaimon stage that we hadn't done in years. But now things are getting more serious because we are now in stage 3, mission set 1. In this case, we are up against Hollows, so we'll probably save our Hollow killers if there are any. Yama, I guess, is going to be our Hollow killer. Maybe we'll use them later on. I feel like Owetsu or Senjumaru would be really good for like a later stage. So let's actually go ahead and use Toshiro right now. And for this one, we only want to bring it to character links. So let's go ahead and remove that. This stage in particular does want to limit our character links, which makes it a lot easier. I think limiting character links is probably better than having your accessories limited, because accessories give a good amount of stats. And it also means you don't have to, like, how do I say it? So if you have to only bring links and no accessories like the Soipa stage, there's more importance on your transcendent investment on your character links, you know? And also your link sort level. In this case, our character could be no link sort investment. And that's fine because we don't need any link sorts. So I think these stages are a bit more manageable where compared to the other stages, you know? So Toshiro's a really good character here. Maybe I should have saved him for a later stage, but again, if we really need to, we will go back to free him up. But the Soul Bomb does take down Aizen. We had plenty of time to spare, so yeah, we very well might come back and play with another character if we really do need Toshiro. Our first rule for mission set 2 is going to be normal attack damage times 2. No, let's go with, let's go with normal attack damage times 2, why not? I don't think we're going to use any Hollow Killer right now. And can we potentially use, Sergeant? That'll be kind of cool if we can. Let's actually go with Yama instead, to be fair. And again, normal attack damage characters, right, benefit from these stages a bit more, because them not having links isn't that big of a deal, because it doesn't stop them from doing normal attack damage. SP characters are a bit more limited here, because they then start to, like, recharge. But that isn't entirely the case for normal attack damage characters. So hopefully I can find a good soul tray here. And I think we only want to bring one soul tray. Can Yama do this in 90 seconds? Let's find out. The debuff would definitely help here. And I'm kind of excited to use Yama in a stage where we're up against no affiliation enemies, because it'd be really funny if we could actually take advantage of the fact that he's one of the only characters in the game right now to have a guaranteed status of enchant, at least when up against heart no affiliation enemies. Now, unfortunately, we took a hit there. It's fine. Slowed us down a bit because he did confuse us, but we're doing some pretty good damage here, and we haven't even needed to use our Soul Bomb. Or even debuff, which we did go ahead and use right now. Now, the Soul Bomb does apply Lacerate and Burn. Unfortunately, though, we got hit by the burn, so we need to reset. All right, so let's try that again. This time, just be a bit more wary of the traps. Unfortunately, I got hit by the confusion. Let's go up here, though. I want to just remove this. We have 90 seconds, so we're fine. Just to make it easier for me, let me just get rid of those, right? So I think, as I was saying, we do have burn and lacerate, so someone's going to do some really good damage here. But it is weird, to be fair, that Yami is not immune to burn. But I guess it does make sense. You know, he was designed for Brave Hours. Buck doesn't inflict burn. That's why he doesn't have burn immunity. I wouldn't have been opposed to giving this character complete status immunity, in all honesty. So one more wave left to go. We're getting short on time here. But again, I think the burn and lacerate is going to do some really good damage there against the final boss. There we go. So we have 10 seconds. Can we beat it in 10 seconds? Hopefully. All right, so let's just do a few normal attacks. I got weakened. There's no way. We got the burn, though. Let me sub one. Does that count? I should have probably reset that because we got weakened. Does that actually count? We were above the stamina thresholds. 129, it does. That was like literally last second. Okay, that was quite fortunate that we were able to beat that. And now going into our final mission set, we have plenty of other good characters to use. I probably should have used them in all honesty. Instead, I'm kind of making it harder for myself by using somewhat older characters. But like, we still have Uetsu, we have Ishin, and Soifon, all these characters here we have. So with that in mind, I want to use... Who do I want to use? Let me use the Uetsu. Maybe with no character links, we should be relatively fine. We'll find out. And again, you could potentially do this sometime soon, since this character is returning as a filler, surprisingly, for this upcoming end of month. He hasn't even been out for how many months? It's been like 7 months? 8, maybe? But like, the funny part is they're returning, I'm pretty sure, the 9th Annie banner part 2, because they're anniversary characters, right? Let me use the EX skill, so we can still do some damage with that. But it's funny to see these characters already filler. Oh, that's unfortunate. We have to restart. But as I was saying, right? These characters, in my opinion, age better than 9th Annie Part 2. So it's really funny to see these characters already fillers compared to the other characters, you know? Alright, so one more wave left to go. We have, let's just use our normal attack string just to build up the gauge, right? That's something that we can do. We somehow knock the enemy out of the map, okay. And we have 24 seconds to go with our Soul Bomb. Might be a bit awkward because we have to dodge the enemy here, but let's just Soul Bomb. It applies weakened defense too. We have the long stride. We got out the way. Now we just wait for our strong attacks to come back. Use our normal attack. 3 strong attacks ready to go. Damn. We have to reset. Aizen just absolutely nuked us with that SA3. That was crazy. So again, let's use our Soul Bomb into the SA2. Flash step away. Luckily dodged that. And now we just flash step around the map. We destroyed all the traps. So let's just not even give Aizen an opportunity to use a strong attack. And there we go. Uetsu finishing up the #1 Zanpakuto creator. And with that, we have finished officially this month's Senkaimon quest. So nice to know that my personal alt account can still get all the rewards and therefore buy the Senkaimon characters. Also get the 495 orbs at least this month. And then I'm looking forward to next month, right? Because next month might have access to 4 Senkaimon quests. The Aranka Tower, that's also grouped in with Espadas, the Holo Tower, the No Affiliation Tower, and also the Human Tower. If we are getting 4 next month, that means 600 orbs potential. But those towers might be a bit more difficult because the affiliations themselves are more limited. So we'll see how that does go. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you were able to beat all these towers. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.